Hello, welcome to Fun Facts and Sad Truths. Today's fun fact is that, unlike with humans and several other animals, seahorses have the male seahorse will carry the child, the baby.
And today's sad truth is there's still no legislation for legal seahorse abortion.
You wouldn't believe the fucked up stuff they do. He's gonna be on here with us on
So the intro music playing.
We can also keep this audio playing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So welcome back to Fun Facts and Sad Truths, the daily podcast.
Yes.
So
It's been a crazy day
crazy day.
since yesterday's episode.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of rally through some of the things that have happened since our previous episode, which was again yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah.
So since yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
The COVID-19 pandemic happened.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden won the Democratic primary and then became the president of the United States.
Yep. And there wasn't a guy before him at all.
No.
Wrong.
No, he's been president now for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that my earliest memory is when he got elected.
Just yesterday.
Just yesterday. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars last night during the election winning of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Um,
And it was a really weird way for them to end the Aladdin movie. I felt like it was a very strange direction for them to take the live action Aladdin, I feel like.
yeah. Because it was like Chris Rock wasn't even playing a character.
No.
Like Will Smith just came.
No, they invited him on set. Will Smith wasn't on didn't have any of his blue stuff on. And Chris Rock was like, "Oh, I thought you were the genie or whatever." And he's like, "Genie this," and then he slaps him across the face.
Yeah.
And then he says something about don't talk to my Aladdin or something like that. Keep Aladdin's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And it's really crazy that they were filming the entirety of Aladdin and released Aladdin all during the course of the Academy Awards.
Well, yeah, because the award was for his performance in Aladdin, but it was probably the first like very meta movie that's ever come out where the entirety of it, most of it takes place after the movie's filmed.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting time. Yeah.
What else has happened?
I don't know.
We got a camera.
Yeah. Got it from Toys R Us, same as our microphone. It is. That's why. If you listen to the podcast version of episode 6 and 7, it is a Toy Story microphone.
That's right.
It's a Toy Story microphone. We pulled it straight out of Toy Story, actually. It was we recorded the entirety of the last 2 episodes. You know the one where they it's the guy who walks around with the little microphone and sometimes they'll type on and then he'll write stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is really weird because I'm not used to having to move and do things. I guess I normally move when I talk, but now I'm fully aware of it. And I wasn't aware of it before. When it was just our voices, I did so much. We would go out and do archery.
But you didn't think about movement. This is probably podcasts. Has anyone done a podcast that's fully in American Sign Language?
No. I mean, that'd be very interesting. Because that would answer the question of how we have deaf listeners. Because we do. Our analytics show that we have 8 deaf listeners, and we didn't have subtitles at all. I don't know how they listen to us. I mean, I guess we technically had 2 listeners, which was the person interpreting for them, and then them. Well, they wouldn't be a listener if they're Is it still listening for ASL?
It's like a background noise thing.
Okay. All right. Then,
I don't know.
yeah, then I don't know. I mean, if we do have deaf listeners, you have to listen to it twice to make sure that we're getting a view for both you and your interpreter.
Because we want them to appreciate the show as well.
Yeah.
This podcast is actually sponsored by the Sign Language Interpreters of America. That do like they go to like sporting events and they do the national anthem and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No.
What else has happened in the last 4 years?
I mean, it was just yesterday, but it felt like 4 years.
Yeah. Since last night.
I mean, there was. We talk about. Well, I guess I don't know. We never talked about Space Jam in Fun Facts and Sad Truths. We talk about it after the fact.
Oh my God!
I don't think we bring up Space Jam very much. I think we might have bring it up once early on, but we don't talk about Space Jam very much. But there was a new Space Jam.
Yeah, last night.
It came out.
Dog shit.
Yeah. And I think it was really insensitive of them to use Kobe. And they tried to cover it up and like say it was LeBron, but you could tell most of it is actually just Kobe doing.
Well, they had Kobe mocap as LeBron, which is how he actually played most of his games.
Yeah,
he was in a mocap suit as LeBron. So when Kobe tragically passed away last night, this was terrible for LeBron James, who up until that point was a fictional character.
Yeah.
And part of the Lakers, or Cavs at that point, because he got traded like twice last night or something.
Oh yeah. It's all over the place.
All over. But no, they had to create like a homunculus from like ash, and they did. It's deeply satanic stuff. And now LeBron James exists, and he's yeah.
I think we're all the better for it, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mean, I think that's pretty much all that's happened ever since the last time we recorded yesterday. So
yeah, if we didn't mention it,
it probably didn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's actually very fitting that I had a very awful pause because this is the 420 special. Our second 420 special since 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And we had the last one. Elon Musk is in the news again. He tried to send a rocket up into space. And it exploded. Didn't get into space, I guess. Just
didn't make it.
Not even close, actually.
No.
So probably would have gotten further with a Honda Civic.
This is sponsored by Honda Civic as well.
Any brand we mention is on. That's how sponsorships work, right? Yeah. You like bring it up enough, and then they start paying you.
They're legally obligated to send you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
This podcast was sponsored by the Walt Disney Corporation, and every single thing that we say in it is endorsed by them and approved by them.
Yes.
And we got a text from Michael Eisner, CEO of Disney. And he wants you to know that the official stance of the Walt Disney Corporation is racism, A-OK. I don't agree. But,
neither do I.
They're signing the checks.
They're signing the checks with all sorts of terrible words. I don't know why they sign them that way. It's not even their name. They just sign it.
No.
Sign it. With the F slur all the time.
And that one for the kids at home is farts. No. Farts is inappropriate.
No,
I'm sorry.
we shouldn't.
Let's talk about sports.
Sports, yes. This year they're bringing something new to basketball. I heard.
That's right.
So everybody knows the phrase April showers bring May flowers. Well, there's a new one in basketball. March Madness brings April sadness. And it's where all of the losing teams from March Madness get a second chance, except for the one team who actually won, because they're winners and they don't need to try again. They already won.
They're out.
So we're following April Sadness, which has the Jayhawks going off first against another basketball team.
The Tractors.
Yes.
And they come out in their little construction man, their little farmer man suits with their emergency vests. I know people who ride a tractor look like. I know what they dress like.
Yeah.
I got what a tractor.
Yeah. You see the guys driving around in tractors on their fields in full suits and a construction hat.
A big football helmet over the construction hat.
Over the construction hat. And they're just going crazy.
Absolutely.
For April Sadness.
Yeah, they're big fans.
Yeah.
Um,
It's actually one of the rules of April Sadness is you do because every team has a name, but the only person who has to dress up that has anything to do with that name is the mascot. So the Trojans, there's only one guy dressed up like a Trojan, right, out there, right? They need to so the Jayhawks this year, they all surgically implanted beaks onto their faces, so that they could take down the competition just a little more swiftly,
And what they're going to be doing now, and we're hoping there's been rumblings that it'll be spread to the NBA, that they're going to implement a new rule system where the team, kind of like in I don't know, video games, board games, or whatever, you have special skills. So they're going to have to come up with special attack moves in basketball related to what team they're on. So the Lakers will have a special splash move and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it'll help with the genetic encoding they're doing to themselves. They're gonna look like folks. They're gonna be fucking scary.
Yeah.
They're gonna be some freaks out there. The Orlando Magic. I thought you thought wizards or magicians. No, they're what is it, sublimating into a mist, and
Yeah.
and just a series of potions. So now the Orlando Magic is just a bunch of fluids and smokes that ooze around the court and often disorient the competition with their dark spells and things of that nature.
Yeah, and they're using one of the most intense things in human nature, which is wanting to drink fun-colored liquids. And I think that is what really makes potions strong, and I think that's what's going to make them a strong team this year.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I want a side note. Hold on.
This is green screen setup.
Yeah, in the green screen setup. Hold on, there's another layer to this, I think.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's just a big one.
One
this is one of the largest napkins I've seen in my entire life. It's bigger than me. And it's a 2-ply napkin. You can see that it opens. So this is a lot that went in. This is you could use this as a blanket.
Well, you did order 200 chicken nuggets, so.
I did. They gave me I don't even eat meat. It's more of it's an emotional thing. I'm gonna talk about it on the podcast. Right. I don't need to explain it. We've all been there with our 200 chicken nuggets. Um,
What else?
well, in other news and
In other
sports, we also have new rule changes in baseball.
Baseball, our favorite sport.
Baseball.
Yeah.
So, for one thing, they're opening it up. It's going to be a draft system based on geographic location.
Okay.
Something they've been talking about doing for years.
Mhm.
So you can't play baseball like if you're on the Yankees, you got to live in a certain like the county. And it's draft, so it's not based on how good you are. Anyone from the ages of 13 to 70 can be on the team.
Okay. Oh, so our fans from. Well, I guess our Lebanon. He's only 5, isn't he? Our Lebanon fan.
Yeah, and there's not currently an MLB team in Lebanon. So that brings us to update number 2. They're making an MLB team in Lebanon now.
They are, yes.
And they're going to be the cedars, the cedar trees, is the name of the team.
The known state tree of Lebanon.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the other thing they're doing, so there's been a lot in baseball about like time stuff. So the pitcher needs to pitch the pitch after like how many seconds. They keep trying to make it go faster. So to appease fans who are annoyed at that, the commercial breaks now are going to be 30 minutes long. So the ideal system is there's going to be about 10 seconds of play. The pitcher throws the ball. The batter's not allowed to swing on the off chance they might get a hit. That's going to like make the inning even longer. So the hitter has to tell the umpire whether or not he would have hit it. The umpire has to make a gut call on whether or not he's full of shit. And then the game takes, if you condensed it down, I mean, it's like a 1 minute long game now, but the advertisements are going to be way longer. And they're going to be doing them during the game. So rather than having it be like, it cuts to commercial, it's going to be really fun. The baseball player will come up to the camera and just be like, hey, I'm Albert Pujols. Have you considered switching to Cricket Wireless? No, I think he retired. I think Albert Pujols is retired. He was. He played for the Angels and the Cardinals.
Pujols?
Pujols. Yeah. Yeah.
Multiple?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lucky guy.
It's the dream. The peak form is having at least 4 anuses all firing at once.
Yeah, Babe Ruth's nickname was almost Tommy Two Holes.
Yeah,
but his name wasn't Tommy, so it didn't really stick.
No.
And then
it also didn't help that he was the only one who would call himself that. He'd walk into the club and be like, "Hey, Tommy Two Holes is here." They'd all run
with his bloated whale carcass of a body.
No, I mean he'd have chunks falling off.
Just hobbling towards the bar, and the bartender wasn't sure if they should serve him or shoot him. And most often they shot him, and he was fine.
He took it like you couldn't kill that guy.
Yeah.
Some say that on a night like tonight, you can still hear him distantly in alleyways slithering around in the trash.
Baseball. He's kind of locked in baseball. He's really
yeah.
I don't know. He's the reason that they made the new rule. He's part of the reason why they made the new rule of trying to advertise, because they wanted to show less of the just disgusting, grotesque body of these baseball players. Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, it just makes me feel like that burp.
Yeah. Well, in pop culture news,
Mario movie came out.
That's right.
And it pretty much, I mean, we pretty much guessed it with our Sonic movie rundown.
Absolutely.
And the Avengers. There we go. The Adventurers. Those are that was a great series of movies.
Yeah.
Through Marvel. My favorite creation, like comic book.
Yeah.
Marvel.
So Mario's it's a movie now,
Yeah.
starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo,
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Hopper,
Mm-hmm.
who is dead. So
Yeah.
to my surprise, I went to the movie theater,
Mm-hmm.
and I told all of my friends I'm going to go see the new Mario movie starring Chris Pratt, and Jack Black,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a cartoon. I went in and like first things first, I go up to the ticket counter and I say, I want 2 tickets to see the new Mario movie. And they say, sir, you're alone. And I say, well, I don't want anyone sitting next to me. Because I throw up every time. Every time I go to the movies,
Yeah.
it's
Every time.
waterworks and
Every time.
it's bad. It's like split pea soup all over the place. So I try not to let anyone sit next to me.
Yeah.
So
Reasonably so.
as always, the guy beat me with hammers. I mean, they called out the manager. They just start wailing on me with hammers, and I'm like, it's just like in Mario where the Hammer Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
So they hit me harder because they're like, they were not happy about the topical reference. So I go in to see the movie, and there's no one else in the entire theater, except for the usher that like he just kind of stood by me and looked at me like he was just staring at me the whole time. And they put on the Mario movie, and Chris Pratt comes out on the screen with Jack Black, and they
Yeah.
say, "Sorry guys, we couldn't think of a movie." And then they just played the 1998 or 1996 or whatever Super Mario Brothers movie starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper. But again, so even though several of those actors are dead now,
Yeah.
they just recorded it again with them. So like Dennis Hopper's, he's a corpse,
Yeah.
but they had a guy kind of moving him around.
Yeah. They really had them hopping that day. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they basically, I mean, so they were essentially in a T pose. I mean, kind like in the same way that like Jesus was in a T pose, like that's how they held their bodies up, and like they were very yeah, they were very
Pretty much exactly.
yeah, and they even did that to what's his name, Luis.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo, yeah, yeah, they even did it to him, and he is completely still fully alive and functional, and it was
Well, not anymore.
well, yeah, that's true, yeah,
Yeah.
not after the accident.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, definitely one of the better movies I've seen.
Yeah,
I haven't seen very many movies. So
yeah,
this is the third.
yeah.
But
And first,
first was the Mario Brothers movie starring
Brothers,
Bob
the
Hoskins.
Hoskins one, and the second one was
Was the Russian open season.
okay.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
whatever.
Oh yeah, and then I watched Cars too because I was the one interviewing Al Gore. That's right. Okay.
I've never seen Cars
Yeah.
the movie. I've never seen Cars in general.
Yeah.
I have not left this room. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
like
either.
if you've ever seen The Village by M. Night Shyamalan, I have not. But there you go. You know, it's a movie that's
It probably exists.
who
You
can
wouldn't
say?
know anything about it.
I don't know most things.
No.
Oh
No. Oh, Breath of the Wild 2
yeah,
coming out. Yeah.
video game news.
Yeah, video game news. So yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out, and it's a little bit controversial because the villain in the game is actually going to be kind of bringing back again. It's going to be Babe Ruth, right? But it's going to be him in blackface. So it's a little bit yeah. I'm like,
And notably,
dumb.
Link is gonna just be doing that the whole time.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing that the whole time,
He's gonna catch
and it's like and I mean you can tell that like it's because his face was so like brutally bruised by just being shot over and over at the bar, but it's still really in bad taste. Even Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't do that. And we all know he loves that.
Yeah.
The Tropical Thunder was his favorite movie to record. That's how people speak.
Yeah, they go. Celebrities will go on TMZ and be like, I'm a big fan of recording the movie I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly how they talk. Yeah,
yeah,
you can't go wrong.
not at all.
I don't know. What else? What other things?
See, the issue when you do a daily podcast is it's easy to run out of material because so little happens.
So little happens.
You know. Um. Well, you know, a couple of years ago, this is true. A couple of years ago, I saw this person made a comment or a joke or a comic or something, where they're making a point about how toilet paper wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, they were saying we should have bidets instead. And the analogy they gave was like, imagine you get poop on your hand and then you just wipe it off with a piece of paper. You don't wash your hand. And I've thought about this for years. It's pissed me off for years because it's like, you don't eat with your anus. Well, maybe you do, but like most people don't. All right.
You just had lunch, T.
Yeah, I know.
You just saw me.
It's like the guy with the jar.
Yeah. Well, that's how I have to get it up there. I put everything in the jar, I sit on it, and then I tilt upside down, and then rocket the jar up.
Oh, man.
Man, how did we do this for an hour? What the fuck?
Man.
Who are we?
I don't understand, man.
What did we talk about?
Jump cuts and funny noises.
Yeah. It was a diarrhea sound.
That's good. Yeah.
But a really long one.
Yeah, nice. So big news for science fans. They are coming out with new birds now. They're just going to do new birds. So there's a laboratory in, fittingly, Phoenix, Arizona, because we all know Phoenix, they love birds there. That's why. But yeah, so they're gonna come up with new ideas for birds. Right now, it's something, there's like a survey online you can fill out, and you give them your social security number and last year's adjusted gross income, home address, routing number, bank account, and a couple of photos of your house and yourself, and then you suggest new birds. Mm-hmm. So I've suggested a handful, and my favorite that I've come up with is flamingo. I don't see why we don't make more of those.
You're saying flamingo's a new bird?
Yeah, like make new ones, like like a flamingo. Because I saw a flamingo the other day, and I thought to myself, that'd be cool if there was like a bird like that.
You're right.
I think it's pink. Well, nah, preferably like less pink.
No,
because it's it's a little cliche. What birds would you like to see in the new pack of birds they're putting out?
Well, I mean, I'm on the boat for the new Jayhawks. I mean, they're moving forward on their surgeries, so they all got their beaks. I know the team captain has gotten his left wing installed. I mean, you can't. It's legally a wing, but it's like it's a bunch of Cutco knives like taped to the back of his arm. And it cost him $40,000. And that's just a testament to how powerful those Cutco knives are.
Sponsored, by the way, by Cutco Knives here at Fun Facts with Dad Fruits.
Yeah.
The best knife for when you need to knife.
Yes, or when you want to commit a felony and cut a penny in half. That's a thing that you can do too, and that's something that they tell you to do as a seller.
Yeah.
So, well, probably don't anymore. I don't know. They still exist. I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't think so. Do people use knives anymore? I feel like these days people just have an app on their iPhone. They say, cut my steak for me, and the phone says, boop, boop, bop.
There is genuinely a commercial that pisses me off because it's a commercial about phones and like how you can have an app for everything nowadays. And there's one where the girl, she's holding her phone up like this, and then she takes a chip and pulls out some guacamole, and I'm so fucking mad because I know that's never going to be a real app. I want the guacamole app. Why isn't science working on this? This is what are the real problems in America are. We need if there was a guacamole app, most other problems would be solved in our world. Guacamole saves lives. Guacamole
Ends lives.
ends lives. Guacamole is a stock of holy, and guacamole, you can't say no more. It's just you can't. It's there's so much. It would save our world. And I really think that they need to start working on this guacamole app because that commercial, it really every time I see it, I get really upset seeing that. I have to show you it.
I believe you.
It's because it looks like it would be great, and it will never exist, and it makes me sad. And maybe we should get Elon on the horn.
Get him to come up with a guacamole app.
Yeah, maybe not quite.
Yeah, we'll see if we can come
15, 20 minutes.
I came up another bird.
Oh yeah, another bird. Yeah,
was worse sparrow.
Oh, okay.
I think they should make them worse.
Okay. Nice.
So just like fucked up looking.
Okay. Yeah.
I think sparrows, like there's like breeds of like cat that kind of just look like they got hit by a car.
Yeah.
I think we should have more birds like that. Okay. Just like you see the bird and you're like, oh no, it's dead, and then it starts flying. You're like, oh, it looks like that.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like it makes you want to hit it with a car.
Yeah. I get very violently angry whenever I see birds. Like I'll because they I try to hit them with my car whenever I can, but they can go up.
Yeah.
So I would like if I could get an app on my smartphone to like press a button in my car and then like this big spring comes from the bottom and goes like boom, and then I can hit like things that are in the air with the car.
Yeah. Birds have had it for too long.
Absolutely.
Pigeons in the city are they're way too much just in your face. Most small creatures in any other setting, as an adult human walking towards it, that small creature would run away in fear. Pigeons do not. And it pisses me off because they could be anywhere. They can fly. Those fuckers can go, like he said, they can go up. And they decide to spend their time on the sidewalk like a schmuck. And it pisses me off. They've had it too good for too long. They need to realize that they need to get off of the ground. But even if they do get off the ground, we can get them in the air. And I think that's what I like about you right now.
I hate to go back on something I just said, but we're gonna enter the debate zone here.
Oh, no.
I'm taking the counter argument on this one. I'm actually the exact opposite. I like pigeons a lot. I think as a Jew, I think of them as a kindred spirit because they're all in the cities and everyone hates them. And I prefer the fact that they don't run away because I get genuinely angry when I'm like walking and I'll walk and there's a squirrel like 30 feet from me and it'll get like run away when it sees that I'm like in the vicinity because it's like I don't need to eat you. Like I have money. Like I can go to Burger King. Like I don't need to fucking eat a squirrel off the ground.
Yeah, I just like having the full knowledge that there are creatures out there terrified of me. That makes me feel better about myself. Yes. It makes me feel better about who I am on the inside.
Yeah. That's why I send like little packets of white powder to random addresses out of the phone book without a return address on them, just so that I know someone out there is way more scared now about like they're just being around.
Also, pigeons look like they're wearing the little yarmulkes. So
that's true. They got the little thing.
Yeah, they do kind of look like they're wearing a little yarmulkes. Yeah. Okay. You've turned me around on pigeons a little bit. Like pigeons, but most other birds that have the full capability of flight.
This isn't a joke. I was once driving home at night and a robin dive bombed my car and died. Like it just right at me. And I've never hit an animal with my car in my life. And this bird ruins my streak of not causing roadkill by hitting me. And it's like, I can't do anything about that. You have the sky. I have a very small strip of land I'm able to operate a motor vehicle on, and you chose to try and hurt me, and I mean, I think about that a lot.
Yeah, I think if anything, you're the victim here.
Really, yes. In most situations, I am.
Yeah. In most situations where you are a being inside of a 2,000-pound metal box, you are the victim.
Like I hit a 3-year-old. I don't know how to drive. I was drunk for one. So it's like, how am I supposed to tell if it's a 3-year-old or an 80-year-old? Like it makes no difference. And I was driving a Tesla, so
Yeah.
I mean those things. If they see a baby, they go. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's like a bloodhound.
Yeah. And so I realize what you got to do. You got to go into the settings and turn off natural selection mode. It sees. So, but the thing is, it's natural selection mode with Elon's tendencies, and as we know, Elon is terrified of most things. So
And it kills children.
when he says, hey, this thing is going to protect you from like evil things, it means it's going to hit things that he thinks are terrifying, and most of which is children. I think that was the number one thing he was talking about sending into space, I believe.
Yeah, children.
He was on our podcast.
Smaller,
Yeah.
they're easier to send. He's afraid of things that are bigger than him as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Joe Biden announced a new law.
He announced it. I didn't hear it.
It's not like it's not going through Congress or anything. Like it's not legally standing. Joe Biden just came up to his little podium, and he said, "New law," and then he didn't elaborate.
Yeah, well, they should really get that podium out of his bathroom.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest problem. Is every time he sits down for a shit, and then he stands up and pulls his pants up, and then he's like doing his pants, and he's like, "Oh, last time I did my pants, I was in front of people telling about a new law." So then he goes up and talks about a new law. And the latest one was actually another. I mean, everything a president does is controversial, right? The president can't go play golf without being emancipated, right?
Yeah, man. How you fucking hate getting emancipated all the time? It feels like this day and age, a hardworking American can't even go to the store to pick up an industrial case of adult diapers. That everyone else in the aisle emancipating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The emasculation proclamation. That's what those crazy leftists are working on. That's where it is. That's the emasculation proclamation, where everybody proclaims to wear masks when it's late.
Lately, man, I feel like, because during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people wear masks. And I'm like, man, I feel like I've been wearing a mask already, because people don't know the real me, which is a guy in a mask.
Well, the fact is, I cannot get up off of this mattress.
I feel the same way, man.
And all that they can ask is...
We're endorsed by Dream.
Yeah, we are 100% endorsed by Dream. Everything that we say, he has also said in private to us.
These are all we have a teleprompter behind the camera.
Yeah.
And it's just him typing it. He's right there.
Yeah.
He won't let us turn the camera around, though, because he gets shy. By the way, I don't think that. He's telling me to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, even me interrupting, that's included. He's very fast at typing.
He's got hands like a Wolverine.
As we all know, Wolverines are known for their fast hands.
They have very nimble fingers.
I mean, that's why Ooh, not at all. I was gonna say that's why the Tasmanian devil. His catchphrase was "catch these hands," and because the Tasmanian devil was based off of a
Wolverine.
Lebanese Wolverine.
That's right.
Not any Wolverine, a Lebanese Wolverine, right?
That's
If the
right.
if the devil gets to be Tasmanian, the Wolverine can be Lebanese.
I agree with that.
That's my take. Masks. You were talking about people wearing masks for 2019
I'm getting a
or for
tattoo
COVID. Not 2019. Nobody wore one in 2019. Well,
I
people.
because I'm always wearing a mask.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, I guess that's the whole. Yeah.
But I'm gonna get a big tattoo, and it's gonna be Heath Ledger as the Joker. But then it's gonna be on my bicep because I'm very muscular. But then he's gonna be pulling up his shirt to show that he's got a tattoo as well, and his tattoo is gonna say "Live, Laugh, Love" because he's all about laughter. And I think he would like to live because he's not. He died, and I think he would like to love because I mean, don't we all need a little bit? Especially a guy like the Joker. That guy, he's all. I've never seen the movie, but like I feel like he's probably just like kind of.
Well, have you seen the movie Her?
I haven't. No, I haven't. Remember, I've only seen.
Oh, that's right.
three
Yeah.
movies.
Well, the movie Joker is exactly like the movie Her.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, the Heath Ledger Joker specifically.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a movie we could talk about. The Joker. That was a staple in the interweavings of the interweb. Everybody talked about it left and right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Last night when it came out,
Last night when it came out,
it was big news.
super timely to talk about it now.
First movie, big Hollywood movie to feature a clown.
Hmm.
And I mean, that was groundbreaking in a lot of ways. But he didn't do almost, did he? I don't think he did almost any juggling. So,
No,
kind of a, you know.
no. Well, I think because the whole plot was he lost his bowling pins.
Yeah, but that's like, why make a movie then? That'd be like if they did like The Matrix and then at the beginning, Neo was like, I don't know, I don't know what the computer is. And then Morpheus was just like, I don't know. Get out of here, man.
It's my favorite Morpheus line. Yeah.
It's his catchphrase.
I did genuinely see Matrix for the first time ever this last Christmas. So about 3 or 4 months ago. And I'm really glad I didn't watch it as a teenager because holy shit, I would have been insufferable.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I would have loved that movie way too much.
Yeah.
I would have made I would have been the kid showing up in a trench coat and the sun. I would have been Neo all the way. And I'm very happy I didn't get into it because they are phenomenal movies that tell a story of a nerd who learns that he can be cool. And also to love. He loves to be cool. That's what he learns to love to be cool.
The Matrix is a fucked up movie about what if a guy kissed a computer. You can't do that. You really can't do that though. Like the woke mob will cancel you if you try to make out with a computer.
Yeah. No, as we all know, you don't kiss a computer. The ports are meant for your genitals. Not
You go
for your mouth.
straight to fucking.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, come on.
You
To quote my favorite character from The Matrix, you know those movies were real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matrix really happened.
Yeah. They
It all took place inside of a floppy disk.
So where are they called floppy disks? Because those were the ones that were hard. Yeah. And the ones that were hard. And the ones that were floppy, they called the hard disks.
That's right. It's like how they called
Computers.
They called them computers.
Because they were people.
They were people. The first computers. If you're just tuning into this podcast, little did you know. Yeah.
Why did you
If
start?
you managed to make it into this is your first episode and you're here now, welcome to hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first computers were people.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
People who computed. They performed the act of computing.
Yeah. The first smartphones were just this one guy named Ian. And he would run around, and people would like try Googling something, and they wouldn't have anything in their hand. They'd just be like, and then Ian would sprint over from who knows where the fuck, and he'd be like, he would convert,
I mean,
to-
if Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet has taught me anything, it is that Google is still just a dude hanging around answering questions individually.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I do.
That's a much needed job in this society. I think we need more jobs that require minimal effort and engagement on behalf of the employee.
Yes.
There should just be like a union that covers everything. Why haven't they done that yet? Like an everything union.
You know they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
The United States, which actually dissolved last night, so it's gone now. There is the one big unit, the industrial workers of the world. If you're watching this at home, kids, if you're not a boss, you're not a cop, you're not a landlord, you can join the IWW. And that is hypothetically a union for everything. What do you think we like to eat a hippopotamus? I feel like they wouldn't taste very good.
I mean, wouldn't their meat be really tough? Aren't they like super like beefy?
Yeah, they're like scary ass.
Good, yeah. Yeah, plus that one ate the 4-year-old.
Can you blame them?
I mean, that kid would not stop flossing, so I don't want him.
I mean,
This was years before Fortnite even came out. Nobody
Yeah.
knew what it was.
Yeah.
They knew it was annoying.
they just saw it and they're like, I don't know what this means, but this makes me think of Fortnite, which to my mind is just a measurement of time, but I know there's something else there. But it hadn't been invented yet, so they didn't know what it was. And then years later, Fortnite came out. They're like, it's like that kid that died.
Yeah.
Yep.
And actually, the main, like, the default character is actually based on the kid. And I know what you're saying. The default character changes. I think there's 2 different versions, black and white. Well, it was a bit of a Schrodinger's cat situation with the kid, because they kept the kid inside the box, and at night the kid looked like he was black, and then at the daytime the kid looked like he was dead. So, man, we need to learn how to be funny again.
It's been a little while.
It's been a while since yesterday, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, it's been a long night for me. What's something funny?
It's easy to become less funny when you work with children, because both of us within the last day
Yeah.
gained and lost a teaching job of some kind, right?
Yeah. It's insane. Since the last episode yesterday that I began and ended an entire career,
Yeah.
I became observantly Jewish and I got married. All in one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of that happened to me also, except for the Jewish thing and the marriage, and also the other thing he said. But yeah, all of that. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, but I was saying it's easy to not think you're funny when you work with kids, because kids don't think anything is funny unless it's accompanied by a video of somebody playing with slime. Then they'll think it's hilarious.
Yes.
Right? Or a video of someone playing a Grand Theft Auto map. That's another one too.
Subway
Right. So what
surfers is a
what
big-
I've started to do with my everyday interaction with children. I'm no longer a teacher, but I still interact with children on the regular. Um, and what I do is I just carry my phone and I just play a supercut of 5 minute crafts, and I hold it under my chin while I speak to them. Um, and then I'm usually going to rest. For the time that I can talk to them, I actually learn new words. So some of the kids these days are saying Riz. I don't know if you know that one. That's a new term. It's for charisma. I learned. Yeah, say nothing makes a word cooler than breaking it down into why it's called that.
I didn't know that's why.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I honestly like it because there's also cap.
That
I
one
don't know if cap has to do. Is that a derived from something, or is it just like you know?
I knew the answer to that question. I forgot what it was.
Okay, all right. Well, because I'm okay with the swag.
I'm okay with
That's not at all what I meant to say. That was a horrible Freudian slip. I'm okay with the slang, is what I meant to say. I'm okay with the swag though, but I'm okay.
Swag's all right, man.
I'm okay with the slang that kids are coming up now, because at least they're making up new things.
Yeah.
Riz is kind of a new thing that's interesting, you know. Cap, that's new, that's interesting. All we did was take pirate words and overuse them, like swag and scallywag and buccaneer and ahoy, right?
Yarg was a big
Yarg,
one.
yeah.
Back in
Shiver
20
Me Timbers,
Yeah.
that was another one.
when I was in high school, you couldn't go 5 feet without someone yarging at you.
No, and everybody's timbers were so cold. Who knows why? Everybody had wooden legs.
Yeah. And hook hands.
I mean, we did go to school at that factory.
We did at the pirate factory. In a landlocked state, mind you.
Yeah, in Utah.
Yeah.
All our employers were Mormon. It was very strange.
They loved pirates.
Mm.
And they
They said Johnny Knoxville is their favorite pirate. I just don't know who Johnny Depp is, so.
they really should have given him like a peg leg and an eye patch and a hook hand. Because I watched all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah.
I watched them all. I know that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Johnny Knoxville, because I was going to say he does have like a peg penis, basically. Yeah. But yeah, okay. But anyway,
but I watched all. I know this goes back on me saying I've only seen 3 movies, but I've also, in addition to those, seen the Pirate of Caribbean movies. And
those aren't movies; those are experiences.
yes, it's a theme park ride.
Yeah.
So I watched all of them, and I got through it to the very last one, and I turned to the person I was watching the movies with, and they didn't know who I was. They were marathoning in their house. I was outside in the window, so I busted the window, and I go like, "Hey, wait, where's the fucking pirates?" And they're like, "No, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "I didn't see any pirates." And they had explained to me there were pirates that they didn't have the hook hands and the peg legs and the eye patches. I think that's bullshit.
I mean, why else would they call them pirates? Because they're like eye. They lost part of their eye. Part eye pirates. Makes sense. And they always rated people.
They did.
Yeah.
They would show up and they'd be like 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Oh, I think I never gave 7 out of 10.
Yeah. It's a huge issue in the local community theater scene. And we have a moment here, a word from our sponsors. Local Community Theater Association wants you to know about an epidemic hitting small town local community theaters where people do renditions of My Fair Lady and things of that nature. They keep getting raided by pirates. It just won't stop. Every show, they don't even get to intermission. and a ship. And again, this is landlocked states and otherwise. A whole big pirate ship just crashes in every time. This has been happening a lot. Just in general, like they got in Nevada, there's been a string of them in the local community theaters where they'll be doing, somewhat. There was a show going on. It was the Vagina Comedy Monologues, where they had like it's like a Jay Leno thing, but they put on a mask so they looked like a vagina. And they were like, have you guys seen this in the news lately? And they pull up like a news clipping. And then a bunch of pirates came in with their swords and stuff. And they're like, yarg, Jay Leno hasn't been relevant in 10 years. And they killed the guy, which was deserved.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it was unfortunate because it wasn't actually Jay Leno.
No, it was not the real Jay Leno. It was just some guy.
Yeah, but the pirates seem to only have a problem with people impersonating Jay Leno.
Which is also really oddly common amongst small town community theaters.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's very strange that every single small town community theater in the country started doing the vagina comedy monologues, starring Jay Leno as Clitoris, who flew a little bit close to the sun.
All those jokes about like not being able to find the clitoris, it's because it was up in the sky with its little wax wings.
Makeup porn. Where like the whole point of it is they're trying to find the clitoris, and at the very end there's like this fairy character who's like, the clitoris was inside of us all along. Like rejoice, like that scene in what's that Oprah movie?
About a clitoris?
No, there's a movie with Oprah in it where she didn't actually film any of it.
Oh, A Wrinkle in Time?
Yes, A Wrinkle in Anus. Yeah, just like that. It's exactly like that, but instead of them like flying around like a gigantic Oprah and being like, "Whoa, you're so beautiful," it's just like a huge clitoris.
And then everybody dies.
Yeah. And that's the moral. I mean, that's the ultimate moral, why we never want to find the clitoris.
That's like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
It'll kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's concerned about finding Bigfoot. What are you going to do when you find him?
Fuck him?
I already did that.
I'll tell you. You want to know impressive? I found Bigfoot's clitoris. It's not where you'd expect.
It was in Montana.
You think Bigfoot's hair be soft or like coarse? Could maybe like steel wool.
We'll cut this out. Fuck it. What? That's crazy. Whatever he said. Fuck, what are we talking about?
Bigfoot's genitals?
We say genitals because there's multiple.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
To one Bigfoot, there's at least 5 genitals.
Yeah, there's one. There's one Bigfoot and like 6 big penises.
It's all over, man.
Joe Rogan is still to find the feet. He's found the penises, and he uses them in Fear Factor. That's what. So they tell you they're bull penises, but actually those were Bigfoot penises.
They couldn't say it because legal stuff.
Yeah, for legal reasons. Yeah, they didn't want because Bigfoot has a very, very strong legal team.
Yeah,
and if you mention him in ill light, we'll mention them. I guess they're non-binary. That's something you have to remember too. If you misgender Bigfoot, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen to you? He'll let you fuck him.
Exclusive to our Patreon members.
Yeah.
You can now get Bigfoot milk, and honey, Bigfoot doesn't lactate, if you know what I'm saying.
And don't forget the Bigfoot honey too that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one is normal.
Yeah, that's actually just it's honey that's used in foot fetish websites, like for people who have particularly large feet. Like they scoop that honey and put it in.
Nothing to do with the cryptid.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. And then there's also that new makeup brand called the Chupacabra.
Is this real?
No, not at all. I also had nowhere to go with it, so
Yeah.
I was gonna pretend like I do. I'm gonna hydrate.
The new makeup brand called Chupacabra. Tagline slogan for the new Chupacabra makeup brand says that really gets my goat.
And it's funny because pacabra means goat in Spanish, so that's why he chews pacabras. So that's why he's called that. It's a little fun fact for you.
We want to bring in a guest.
No, not at all. not in the slightest. I'm totally fine without a guess. I don't know. I mean, Jordan Peterson has been sitting there for 45. I mean, he's been sitting there the whole time. But
Hey, man.
I mean, I don't know.
He's so fucking sweaty.
Yeah, he just won't.
He's fucking drooling all over himself.
You know, I think he got to that bag that Reggie left.
I think probably. I've never seen so many fluids on a man. He's a wet guy. Big wet Jordan Peterson.
We'll give him some NyQuil. He'll be feeling better next time. He'll be on the next podcast.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about men's rights
and lefts.
The fuck did I tell you about this? All right. Well,
fucking Bigfoot.
Fucking Bigfoot, man. And I think on that
unhappy
note. I think we can end on a happy note like that. That we're just fuck Bigfoot, man. Like, and that's like it's a happy note because if you find him, you go fuck him. He likes it that way. But yeah, I mean, thank you for joining us for another episode.
We realized
that
we realized that the economy for a small town in Lebanon is entirely based on these episodes getting aired on time.
Yeah, so we deeply apologize
for the slight delay.
A
couple hours late.
Yeah, just just get a couple more drinks in you at the bar before they throw it up.
Yes.
And then they start, playing it. Because the 6-year-olds go into the bar at Lebanon, right?
Yeah.
They don't have a drinking age there, right?
They don't have alcohol. You go to the bar, you just get some water, some milk.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Bigfoot milk. They don't have him.
They don't have it there. Only we have the Bigfoot milk.
We've got a monopoly on Canada's got some Bigfoot stuff going on, I think.
And on that note, Mr. Pepsi.
Mr. Hole.
Do you have any words of wisdom?
Oh, I forgot words of wisdom.
Yeah.
I did forget about...
So here's the obligatory that we forgot.
Forgot about the words of wisdom.
But now we're going to do it.
Words of wisdom. They say that, inside the heart of every man is a little boy. But inside of every little boy's heart is a man's heart. And if you just keep cutting open children, you can get like so many fucking hearts. And they're pure muscle. And you can feed like if you've got like possums in your yard, they eat that like really quickly.
My words of wisdom are Keep your children away from Babe Ruth. Because he's the one who discovered that. Thank you for joining us on this lovely episode of Fun Facts and Bad Truths, but Sad Truths. I'm your host.
I'm your co-host.
Bye.
Love you.